Hello, loves. Welcome back to my channel. It's Ronnie. In today's video, I'm gonna be doing a get ready with me story time. I'm gonna be doing my makeup and telling you a story of why I'm no longer friends with my old friends when I was 19 years old. So this was like years ago. And I'm not gonna use none of their names. I'm gonna like sub out names so nobody won't get offended or anything, but
these people, they know who they are, even if I change their names.
Back to the story. So let's start it off. Okay, so these friends, I met them when I was about 18, but I stopped being friends with them like a year later when I was like 19. So I met them. I was working at McDonald's at the time, and that's a separate story time. And at first, they was like really cool people, you know? They didn't really like do anything that struck me as like a red flag. And at first I'm gonna call her Charlie. So I met Charlie working at McDonald's because we both worked at McDonald's together. And Charlie was like super, super cool, real chill, great vibes. And like she would always invite me to do things. But you know, me being the introvert that I am, I wouldn't really hang out until finally I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway, like I might as well. So I finally decided to hang out with Charlie, and she had a girlfriend, and it was at her mom's house, and we'll call her girlfriend Kylie. We'll call her Kylie. So her girlfriend Kylie, you know, we started talking, and we actually lived overseas at the same time. So we kind of like automatically clicked. She was pretty cool in the beginning, you know, again, no red flags. And I just got like super close with them. And we would always hang out. I would always go over there and like drink, and they had parties, and it was just a good time. And that goes into me getting kicked out. Different story time. But anyways, back to them. So, I mean, it was really cool. Like, they were super, like, nice. Like I said, Charlie let me live with her around the time I was 19. You know, I got high for my first time for real with Charlie. And she was really cool. So fast forward to when I was 19, I had left Charlie's house, and at this time I had met other people. Like I became friends with her cousin. We'll call her cousin. I'll call her Sarah. So I became real friends with, like, close with Sarah, and we all had got jobs at IHOP. And that's initially how I met Sarah, because she was already working at IHOP. And when I started working at McDonald's, I had got a job at Walmart. But then when I started working at Walmart, I had got a job at IHOP. So we were like all at IHOP, except for Charlie. Charlie, she wasn't at IHOP. So it was really just me, her girlfriend, and her cousin. We all worked at IHOP. And it was just crazy because I would, like, my best friend who I've been friends with since like 8th grade, I even got him hired at Walmart. Not Walmart, scratch that. I got him hired at IHOP. So it was like super cool that we all could work there. We were all friends. We were all getting bread. You know, we would get high together occasionally. Super fun time. So I had lived at my mom's house after I left Charlie's house. And when I was at my mom's house for a little bit, she had left because she had an overseas job. So I literally stayed in the house like by myself. So I just came up with like a cool idea. I was like, oh my gosh, why don't my friends move in? But initially, at first, it was only supposed to be me and the cousin. It was supposed to be me and Sarah. But then I was like, well, I might as well just invite like Charlie. She didn't stay with us, so it was really just her girlfriend, her cousin, and I think it was one other friend as well. And they all like live together with me. So fast forward, we stayed in the house. Everything was cool. You know, we would have our little dinner nights. And then a little bit around like, I want to say, it was probably about, oh my gosh, my baby's crying. But it was about, I don't know, maybe like a month or two after staying. I just was like doing a lot for my friends. Like, you know, I would pick them up from work. I would drop them off. You know, mind you, I never got gas. Like, I think I asked for gas like one time, and Sarah literally only put like under $10 in the tank. Like, there was barely anything in my tank. So me just being the type of friend that I am, I would just drive them around all the time. I'd pick them up all the time because I was the only one with the car. Like, and I was the only one who could drive. So, you know, Charlie, she could drive, but she stayed at home with her mom. So, you know, and I guess her and her girlfriend were on good terms at the time. I'm really not sure what was going on with that, but her girlfriend just stayed with me. And honestly, when you stay with people, you really see their true colors. So once I started asking for gas, then it became like an issue. Like, mind you, this is whenever I had stopped working at IHOP because I had got fired, and that's a different story. And I had stopped working there, and I just was still getting the rides and stuff. And then it just became like too much. Like, they would always want me to pick them up and drop them off on time. Like, even though I didn't really do much of nothing, it was just becoming like a burden. Because you gotta think about it, like, when you live like your own life, and you know, I'm staying at my mom's house, so this is my house. So, you know, you would think like common courtesy, like rules like that they would just be like more respectful for it. But I guess they took it like really personal that I didn't want to give them rides anymore. And that was just like a part of it. Like, that wasn't all of it, but that was like, I feel like that was part of it. So they weren't really like cool with that. And then, mind you, I had met my boyfriend at the time through Sarah. Like, I met my boyfriend at the time through Sarah because Sarah was going to talk to my boyfriend at the time's brother. So that's how I met him, and we got like really close. So I started doing things with him all the time, and then they were just like, oh, you're changing. And it's not that I was changing, I just wasn't doing like for them anymore, pretty much, basically. Like, that's all that was. So I was just like, well, I mean, I'm in a relationship now. Like, what do you expect? Like, do you expect me to just always do everything for my friends or whatever? And I guess they did. So just weird things started happening. Fast forward, the guy that I was with at the time, he gets kicked out. And again, like I said, my mom didn't stay there, so I was like, all right, cool, you know, you can come stay with me, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, this would be great, like, you know, staying with your boyfriend, cool. So he came, and they did not like it at all. They were just, basically, things would come up missing. Like, we would smoke together, weed would come up missing, and it was just like little stuff, like thievery stuff, and I don't tolerate. It's not that deep. And they was just stealing, and I knew it was them because I was always with the dude. So they would try to be like, well, we're not taking it. Like, basically trying to use the loyalty that I have for them, like, against me. Like, well, you know, you trust us, so there's no way it could be us. But I know it wasn't him either, because most of the time he was with me. So, I mean, when would he have time to do something? And I'm like right there every time. So I was just like, mind you, I'm older than all of them except for Charlie's girlfriend, Kylie. Like, we were pretty much around the same age. But the cousin, she was like, I think a year or two younger than me. Sarah was like a year or two younger than me. And I was just kind of like, okay, like, what's going on? Like, how come now all of a sudden things are coming up missing? And, you know, y'all are trying to blame it on him. Like, eventually you're trying to break up the relationship because they didn't like him. But it wasn't that they didn't like him. They just didn't like that I wasn't doing anything for him. And then it got like really disrespectful, like where, you know, they would leave and not tell me anything and then just come back all hours of the day. And, you know, I locked my door at some time, but when they were there, no one had keys, so I would just leave it unlocked. But then I started getting uncomfortable because I'm just like, all right, like, you're starting to come like super late, leaving super late. You're not telling me nothing. Like, I have the door unlocked. I don't know who you letting in and out. And they would just like smoke without me, do all this stuff without me, and being real secretive, like talking to each other, like without me, basically like plotting. I'm not with the plotting. So that just went left after that. And I was just like, yeah, like this ain't about to work because clearly I don't know what's up with them, but they clearly got an issue. I don't know what the issue is, but apparently their issue is with the guy, I'm assuming, who I was with at the time. That's who their issue was with. And they were like taking it out on me for some odd reason. And I was like, we're supposed to be friends. Like, why would you take your frustration out on me and then start taking my stuff? Like, mind you, when they were doing all this sneaky stuff, I was just kind of like, all right, I'll let you into my home. You don't pay no rent. Like, you literally don't contribute to anything whatsoever. And now you're trying to be weird. Like, I'll give you rides. I pick you up and drop you off at work. And y'all are just like acting like everything is just gravy. Like, I'm just not going to do anything about it. So I was just like, all right, but trust him. So for me, I just really tried to ignore it, but as time went on, it just got worse and worse. Like, more stuff started coming up missing. Like, he had this grinder, and it just came up missing. Like, that whole just disappeared, like, off the face of the planet. And we know we left it in the car. And the only people who was in the car was the girlfriend and this white girl who I was friends with, and my boyfriend at the time. So the white girl, I'm gonna call her Casey. So it was me, Charlie's girlfriend, Casey, and my ex at the time on the car. We smoked. And then I guess we had got out. We got back in, and his grinder was like just missing. And he was like, I don't know where it's at. I left it right here. And then there was only 2 other people left in the car. But I knew it wasn't Casey. Like, I knew it wasn't her. So it had to be Kylie. Like, she had to be the one that took it. And I was just like, okay, so you seriously just sat here and took something that wasn't even yours. The reasoning behind it, I don't know. But she, like, seriously took it. Like, I know she took it. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, really was trying to play me like I was like a dummy or something. And I was like, I'm not dumb, dude. I know you took this. Why? I'm not sure. You know, if we're supposed to be friends, why are you stealing? And then when I confronted her about it, she lied and was like, well, why would you think I took it? I wouldn't do that. Well, I mean, I didn't think you would do that either, but apparently so. You know what I mean? Like, come on. They're trying to play me for like a dummy or something. And I was just like, all right. So that was like the first strike. The second strike was I had these a pair of shoes. I had these Air Forces that I had got, and they were Air Force Ones. I got them from my brother whenever I had went out to Georgia when I lived out there for that little bit of time. So mind you, like I had the shoes and I kept them in a certain spot, like I knew them. And like we both had the same pairs, but mine was newer because I had just got them. So mine was new, like brand spanking new. And I looked from our shoes, and the shoes that were fitting out, they were like dirty and they looked old. And I was like, these aren't my shoes, because I know for a fact that my shoes was clean because I literally just got them. And like she had my shoes on. The girlfriend, what's her name? Oh yeah, the girlfriend, Kylie. Like she had my shoes. And I was just like, yo, like, dude, like, why do you have my shoes on? Like, she stole my shoes. Like, I knew she took my shoes. Like, she couldn't even deny that she took my shoes because she took my shoes. So I was just like, okay, so what was your reason behind taking my shoes? Like, that was a huge argument. So, like, the stealing just got, like, out of hand. Like, you taking my shoes now, bro. Like, you gotta go. Like, that was really the straw that, like, broke the camel's back. And at that time, the guy who I was with at the time, like, his brother stayed with us, too. And, you know, he was telling me, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, they're taking stuff. And then at first, like, I did not want to believe it. Like, I did not want to believe that they was stealing from me and stealing from the person I was with and, like, taking my things. And I don't want to say it was the cousin, because I just don't think that was her, like, her thing. Like, I don't think she's a thief. Like, I felt like she used Kylie, because Kylie ain't got nothing to lose, clearly. So I feel like she used Kylie or manipulated her, influenced her in some type of way. Or maybe she didn't. I don't know. But Kylie was a thief, bro. Like, she was just stealing left and right. And I'm just like, if you got nowhere to go, like, you don't steal for someone that you consider yourself a friend. Like, that you consider to be your friend. So that was like a huge blowout. Like, huge blowout. I was like, that's it, last straw. Like, you gotta go. Like, you can't be here no more, baby. So apparently, you know, she did not like that. Or the cousin did not like that. Sarah, she did not like that. So she went on like this huge crazy spree. And as she's getting her stuff out, you know, I locked the door behind her. I'm like, girl. So the girlfriend, I guess she calls Charlie to come and get her. Mind you, me and Charlie had no type of beef whatsoever. Like, I was friends with Charlie before I was friends with any of them. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, Charlie has always been really like a rational person. And to this day, like, I don't understand. I mean, yeah, okay, that's your girlfriend, so I guess you feel like, and your cousin, so I guess like you feel loyal to them. But I feel like me being your friend, like, I at least thought she would have my back, but obviously not. You can't trust everybody. So they came, they was taking their stuff out, moving their stuff out. Mind you, like, at first they started taking shit that wasn't theirs. And I just locked the door behind them. And I was like, look, you ain't about to walk out of my house with stuff that I paid for that was mine. And they were taking like petty shit. Like, their girlfriend, she took like toilet paper or something. Then I think the cousin ended up taking some other shit, like out of the what is it called? Something petty. She took something out of the pantry, like just taking all types of stuff. Like, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, dude. And they were taking all that stuff, taking it out, and I was just like, you know what? You can have it because it's easily replaced. And I think I had a job, but I don't know where I was working at the time. So I really did not care. I was just like, whatever, just take it, get out. So mind you, she's still trying to, like, at first, you know, Mouse, like, just quiet. And then the whole time, Sarah was quiet. But as soon as Charlie pulled up, that's when Sarah wanted to try to act like she's just so big and bad. And I was like, look, Sarah, you had nothing to say this whole time. So I don't know why you're trying to act like you got something to say right now, because it's not even being heard at this point. And then the girlfriend, that was the girlfriend. And then the cousin was just acting crazy, like just acting like she was just out of her freaking mind.
I was like, girl,
She's like, you're doing too much. Like, I don't understand. Y'all caused this, really. I wouldn't even have to come to this if MS didn't take my shoes, and then everything else was like petty stuff. But once you start taking like my personal belongings, like, and I got that as a gift, like, nah, bro, you gotta go. Like, I'm not tolerating it anymore. So that happened there, and I was just like, look, sis, it's a prom. Like, you gotta go. You feel me? So yeah, I was like, it's a wrap. Like, you gotta go. You can't be here no more. Cause I'm not about to stay with no thieves. Like, that's not what's happening. Like, period. So, you know, that happened. And after that, you know, that was really, after all of that happened, that was really like the last time I spoke to them. Like, I had talked to Charlie's mom, and you know, they was like going back and forth over the phone, like talking about, oh, pull up. I'm just like, but when you were here, you didn't do nothing. So there's really no reason for me to pull up. Like, you had your opportunity, and now you want to get around everybody. It's like, pull up. I'm like, nah, you trying to jump. I'm not with none of that. If you couldn't do nothing when you was in my face, then it's a dub. Like, it's done. Like, you had your chance. It's over. So
that was bad.
then even to that, like, even after the fact, after all of that had happened, you know, Charlie's mom said something that was right. She's like, you should never let them move in. You know, what did you expect? You know, I was just like, you know what, you're right. I should have never did that. And I was so disappointed because me and Charlie was like so close. Like, that was my B word. Like, that was my girl. Like, really, before everybody else, that was my girl. Like, that was my BFF. Like, my other BFF. Because, you know, Will is like my
BFF, like
my 8th grade best friend. But that was like my bitch. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, dang, dude. Like, that's so disappointing because we was so cool. And it just didn't work out like I thought it would. And I just felt so bad about it. And then sometimes I think about it to this day, and I'm just like, that was so stupid. Like, and mind you, like, I have not spoken to not one of them since that happened. And it was just like so much. And I'm just like, you know what? You know, things happen for a reason. You know, God probably wanted me to see that these people were not genuine to me. All they wanted to do is use you for what you had. So they had to go. And I was like, you know what? Let me stop ignoring the signs and, like, really pay attention, because ain't nothing gonna happen that isn't meant to happen. So I was just like, you know what? Maybe that was like a sign. It was my karma. And I just like really left it alone. Like, I didn't think about it no more. It was what it was. Like, whether they wanted to admit to me that they were stealing or not, I don't know. But sis knew. The girlfriend, she knew she was stealing. And I just don't think it's ever that serious, like, to be a thief. Like, come on now. You could be anything or anybody, but why steal? Like, why be a thief? Like, that stuff, it is beyond me. It's above me.
Listen, there was
No,
people screaming
but
at home.
at the end of the day,
I
and
need
the
a
climate that we live in today's
I said
society,
I was sorry.
I understand that, but it's above me now.
I would never. But, you know, things happen. And it'd be like that, so there wasn't much I could do. I just was like, whatever. Kept it moving. And yeah, that's that story time. But each story time goes into its own story time. Like, it's a story time on when I lived with Charlie. And I mean, at first, like, everything at first is always kosher. And then it gets crazy for some reason. I don't know. But it did. So you gotta understand, like, everything happens. Like, legit, everything happens for a reason. And I'm just glad that happened when it happened. Because I don't even know, like, where I would be at right now if it didn't happen. So I guess I'm glad it happened. I mean, I don't know. It's just sad always
Figuring out that friends who say they're your friends aren't really your friends.
that makes sense. And yeah, that's pretty much the story time of why I'm no longer friends with my friends who I were friends with when I was 19. It's a lot. I guess I do this wrong. And when I'm going into with my makeup, like, the reason I didn't like go into detail of like what I used is because
I ain't no makeup artist.
and how I do my makeup, you might not do your makeup like that, so I definitely wasn't about to go into detail about how I do something, and I am not an expert, so people can criticize. I mean, they're gonna do that regardless, but if I can avoid it, I'm gonna avoid it. But if it can be avoided, she's gonna avoid it. And I'm gonna put my lashes on off camera, and I will be back. I don't know if that's too much highlight. It might be. Yeah, but I'm gonna put my lip on and my lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I put my lashes on. I like really like long dramatic lashes, so I love it. And I just want to make sure everything matches. I put on my setting powder, like the powder, not the spray, and I put on my lip. Like I said, I didn't really specify what kind of products I use because I'm not an artist, like a makeup artist, and I just do what I do and it works for me. But yep, that's the story time. It's kind of lengthy, but like I said, like, you know, a lot happened. I just wanted to give like details, so just in case anybody wants to be like I'm lying, no, boo, I'm not lying. The people, even though I changed the name, like I said, the people who I'm talking about, they know who they are, and they know what they did, and that's all I just had to be about that. And there's gonna be more story times. Like I said, there's a story time about when I lived with Charlie, and then I got a bunch of story times about when I got kicked out, because I got kicked out like one time, but I like moved house to house like a lot of times. So those are gonna be all separate story times. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and there'll be another video soon. Thanks for watching.